This video is sponsored by
Microjig, maker of the gripper. Work safer, work smarter.
Be sure to check out my Amazon affiliate store, where you'll find a lot of the tools that I use in my shop. You'll also find a brief description of the tool and what I think of it. You'll find a link to my Amazon store in the description of the video. I moved my rip fence about 1/4 of an inch away from the blade so that I can rip this second dimension a little bit wider than the first. I have both glue ups out of the clamps, and now at the joiner I'm going to face joint one side to get it nice and flat, and the opposite face I'll bring to its final thickness at the planer. And I'm going to bring it to a thickness so that the thickness in this dimension is the same as the thickness of one of the glue ups in this direction. Before I cut the individual coasters out of this block of wood, I want to round over all of the corners with an 1/8 inch radius roundover bit. Now normally I would round over these corners by using my router table, but I want to show you guys that might not own a router table that you can accomplish the same thing by using a handheld plunge router. In order to get a consistent thickness for the coasters each time, I have a positive stop which was clamped down to the right side of the miter saw. And I would just keep butting the edge of the stock up against the positive stop, and that got me these consistent thicknesses. And I also used a piece of 1/4 inch thick plywood for the bottom of the miter saw, and this sort of acted as a zero clearance throat plate, so nothing was able to sneak through and pass into the bottom of the miter saw. I was able to cut 7 1/2 inch thick coasters before the stock just got too short in order to safely cut any more. But I suppose I could come up with a method where I'm securing the stock to the plywood with double stick tape or some other method, but I think 7 coasters will be more than enough, and maybe I'll find another use for the rest of this later on down the road. At the router table, I'm going to round over the edges, both top and bottom, using an 1/8 inch radius roundover bit. Now again, if you don't have a router table, you could just do this by hand using some sandpaper and just ease the edges all the way around. But I would not recommend doing this part with a plunge router. I finished the coasters with a mixture of mineral spirits and polyurethane in equal parts, and they should provide years of dependable service for wherever beverages are served.